Hey guys, so in this video we're going to talk about your Darakaraka or 7th Lord in the Nakshatra of Swati. But before we get started, please subscribe my channel and follow me on Instagram. And if you want to take my personal consultation, so please check the link below. So Swati Nakshatra is a highly independent nakshatra. It falls in the sign of Libra. It's ruled by Rahu. The deity of this nakshatra is Vayu, the wind. And the symbol of this nakshatra is a blade of a grass that's flowing in the direction of the wind. Because when the wind blows, we see that the plants, they flow in direction where the wind is blowing. So this is what represents this nakshatra. And it's a Devguru nakshatra, it's a Sattvic nakshatra. It is in the sign of Libra, that's why it's highly influenced by Venus. The element of this nakshatra is Agni, fire. Okay, and the desire of this nakshatra is to be independent, to be free, and to flow wherever they would want. To be like a wind and go wherever they would want. So this is what the quality of Swati is. Now, when your Darakaraka or your 7th Lord is placed in the nakshatra of Swati, first of all, it shows that your spouse will be a person that you won't be able to keep under your control. If you are a person, if you are a Mars or a Sun person who would want to keep your spouse under your control, then in this nakshatra, having Darakaraka or 7th Lord here, it's not actually possible because these natives are like air. We cannot keep air in a container. We cannot like capture, or we cannot lock air or wind. We can never stop wind from blowing. Same way, your spouse will be like wind and will be highly independent person who would love to take his own decisions, and someone who is dependent on himself or herself and always needs freedom or space in the relationship. If you become highly possessive, or if you become highly controlling or dominating in the relationship, then they would really suffocate, because they are like wind and they don't really love to be in an enclosed relationship where they don't get space or they don't get that freedom. So it's better let them free and let them choose their direction and whatever they want to do in their lives. So this is the thing, they're highly independent and they love space. Without space they won't be able to breathe. They would start to suffocate in the relationships. Okay, so this is the thing. They are very friendly and they die to be in a relationship. They always need relationships. So having a partner, having a love partner, or communicating or being in public, or having a social circle is very common in this nakshatra. They are charitable, they are friendly, they are curious, they are sensitive, emotional. They love arts, music, and creativity. They are very freedom lover, and they are very merciful. They are sensitive. As this is a Devguru nakshatra, they are highly spiritual. They are God-fearing. They are religious. They are good learners. They are good traders, good communicators, and they love knowledge. They love to learn and seek knowledge. They would want to have balance in everything in their life, be it a relationship or be it any other field. And they would naturally be inclined towards law. They are highly fragile and sensitive. So even little things or anything that's really not good for them may hurt them emotionally. They love to help people, and they are very well mannered, well behaved, and they are really very kind hearted people. So having Darakaraka here is actually nice, and also as it's ruled by Rahu, and it's a Venus sign. So Venus qualities are getting very enhanced here, so they will be naturally inclined towards also creative fields, and no matter they are in the creative field or not, but they will definitely love listening music, or they may have some natural artistic talents as well. Okay, now it's a Rahu Nakshatra. So Rahu is illusion, obsession, and Rahu is someone who is outcast and does everything in a very different manner, who doesn't belongs to this society, normal society. That's why in relationships you will find that your relationship is really different from others. Your partner may also be from a foreign country or another culture, or someone who has a thought process or mindset that is very different from normal people, someone who has a lifestyle that is different from normal people. Even you desire that kind of relationships that is different from others. And as it's a windy nakshatra, airy nakshatra, these people really love traveling the world. Okay, that natural inclination towards travel is there. They love traveling and exploring the things. Okay, and natural traders, natural that business mind, because that's a nakshatra, that's the original business nakshatra, because Libra sign is also the sign of business and trading. It also shows your partner may come in your life suddenly, and suddenly you will see that you enter into relationships. Everything may happen suddenly, because Rahu is a planet that's a very sudden, and it's not really about planning beforehand. So you suddenly the things would happen in this nakshatra. Okay, so now if you have your sun placed in this nakshatra, from 6 degrees to 10 degrees, we actually consider sun to be debilitated here. So if you have a debilitated sun, it will give you low self-esteem, low self-confidence, and relationship issues may come. Here, sun doesn't want to be in a marketplace, but that doesn't mean that sun loses its ego or anger. That's why ego clashes if the relationship might be there, because sun is really debilitated, and it's really not having that qualities. But these people really want to be in the relationships, because relationships may make them feel comfortable, and they would always want to be with people, because when they are with people they would feel that they have their confidence and their ego, and they would always desire respect as well, because that sun is a planet that needs respect. It's a king. That's why your partner will always want that you praise them, or make them feel better, or really make them feel like they are the leader or the king in the relationships. If after it is 10 degrees, then it's really not that bad. It just shows that you need relationships in your lives, because you want to explore the things, and you love to be in relationships where you get someone with whom you can share thoughts and can share your creative skills. Okay, and natural inclination towards arts is always there, and even in the law field they can be interested. Okay, so sun here is not really someone who is very egoist, or someone who has high attitude. They really don't have it, but they need to learn in their life that the real king is one who serves the people, and the king is the one who shouldn't have any kind of attitude or ego. So this is the thing. Now if you have moon here, okay, moon here shows that someone who has a natural business mind, and someone who can be a very good lawyer, someone who can do very good in the creative field, someone who is really outcast, doesn't belong to the society, and someone who is really obsessed about relationships and natural creative skills, natural artistic skills, someone who really wants the balance in their life, balance in the emotions. You'll also notice that sometimes your spouse suddenly will get highly emotional, will start to cry, and at the other moment they will become alright, like nothing happened, because it's a Rahu Nakshatra and it represents the activities or events that may happen suddenly. So that mood swings might be really there, and their mind is constantly thinking and making windy palaces, and someone who is constantly in thoughts, someone who is constantly thinking. Okay, now if you have Venus here, so Venus is really well here. It shows that you need a partner who is from other culture or other country, and there are high chances that you may meet someone who is from different country or different culture, or you may have love marriages, and like you love traveling, you love to do something online, or very active online or social medias, someone who is a natural artist. No matter whatever profession your spouse would have, he would be natural artist, like someone who is Instagrammer or TikToker or YouTuber. Okay, so natural inclination towards these fields is there. But will be good looking. Someone who needs balance in the relationships, needs that relationships should be balanced. Not too much and not really less. If you have your Mercury here, these people are really curious about relationships. They want to be in a relationship to explore the relationships. Okay, their communications is outcast. They love communicating about the world or about the sky or something that people really don't generally talk about. Okay, because it's a Rahu Nakshatra, and Rahu is someone who doesn't belong to this society, who is highly different. So that's why your spouse may be someone who doesn't like to follow the set norms of the society, who is really different and needs balance in the communications. They are not someone that would want to talk to you all the time. They need a balance. Like, they love talking, but that doesn't mean that they would do it over. And they will be highly artistic and can definitely go in the business side, especially online business. They are good learners. They really love to learn. They really love to study. Okay, and that general inclination towards education, religious studies or law studies or business studies is there. Youthful looking, charming, or needs harmonious relationships. So these kind of spouse. Now if you have Mars here, so Mars is actually well here, but they are highly passionate about relationships. Okay, they really want to be in a relationships, and they are too much into relationships, like highly possessive. They can as well be in the relationships era, but they always put that much effort into the relationships as much as is needed. Not to, they don't go over, they don't want to be overly passionate in the relationship field. Now Mars is a planet that is action oriented, and that's why it wants to conquer. So that's why they may come into the relationships, your spouse, without thinking or without pondering over. that thing before, and they can come into relationships very like suddenly and without thinking. But the anger and the argumentative behavior of Mars here is very controlled, and they would always want to make the relationship harmonious, and will always work on making the relationships better. Okay, so Mars is actually good here, but they can be highly sexual as well, sensual, sexual. Their actions are so much mysterious, and they won't show like what they are actually going to do next. A natural good inclination towards foreigner things will be there if it's Jupiter. So Jupiter here, these people are really someone who thinks many times before coming into relationships. Okay, your spouse is not someone who can be fooled easily. Okay, they think a lot before they enter into relationships, and when they're in a relationship, they really do their best to maintain the harmony in the relationships. Okay, and always trying to avoid any kind of arguments. Even if you and your spouse would fight, they would want that I should go and say sorry to my spouse and maintain the harmony. There is no need to fight. Okay, just maintain the harmony. So this is really good thing. Someone who's really wise, and someone who has the knowledge of business, of law, or about creativity. Okay, now if it's Saturn, then Saturn is a cold natured planet, and now it is coming the sign of Libra, Swati, where it's actually exalted. Okay, so Saturn really loves to be here, and their karma is to like do something that people generally don't do. So relationships will definitely come later in your life, but your spouse will be the person who works slowly into the creative things or in the relationships part. Okay, now Saturn is getting influenced by Rahu. That's why the karma is always outcast, always doing something that people don't generally do. Okay, and cold natured, they are really cold natured and not too much into romance. They need a serious relationships. So your spouse really needs that serious relationships, will be really social, will always help people, will have balance in their karma. They don't do hard work. They are like they will put their efforts as much as is needed and would not make them really tired. Okay, so I hope you really enjoyed the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.